Continuing the trend of excellent and intelligent horror movies, we have A Quiet Place, directed and co-written by John Krasinski and starring Noah Jupe, Melissa Simmons, Millicent, I think, Emily Blunt, and John Krasinski. This is a movie about a family that is forced to survive by being as quiet as possible because they're being hunted by a creature that hunts using sound. So, A Quiet Place. Now, recently we've seen a resurgence of excellent horror / thriller movies. You know, I think from the earliest I could remember, it goes back to like Let the Right One In, coming forward to The Babadook, Under the Shadows. Recently we've just been seeing better and better and better genre type films, the genre being horrors. And I'm so happy for that, because it felt for a while there that, especially after the debacle that was the Twilight series, horror in general was being treated as an afterthought. And with Jordan Peele's brilliant Get Out last year and those movies that came in between, Don't Breathe and so forth, I feel like there are people out there who love this genre as much as I do, as much as horror fans do. And they remember there was a time when there was intelligent horror movies out there like Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist and The Omen. And they're bringing those back. So now we have John Krasinski, who knew, directing this movie, and he co-wrote the screenplay, and he stars in this film with his wife Emily Blunt. This movie takes sound and does what they did in Don't Breathe to a level, kind of like Don't Breathe, with it, where sound, or the lack of sound, is more terrifying than sometimes what you're even seeing on the screen. It causes the audience to hold their breath, and you in that moment are trying to be as quiet as possible. The cinema I was in was mostly very quiet, thank God. You know, did have some chatty people that everybody shushed and they shut the hell up, so that was great. But why I bring it up is because the screen, there were moments that was so quiet that you could hear somebody reaching into their popcorn, you could hear a rapper. It was that quiet, and it made things so tense. It was so brilliant the way sound was used in this movie. And this is not a big, huge film. This is a very small cast. It's really 4 people, this family, really, and what they're going through to survive. Another aspect of this movie I quite enjoyed is the small touches. Things like their hands being not as clean as it should be, and you wonder, well, why are their hands dirty, or you know, and there's a reason for that. When you think about it, flowing water makes a lot of noise, you know, so you know, you would do that less than you normally would. They would walk bare feet everywhere. They would throw down what seemed like not so much sand but like clay, so that you can run on that without making a bunch of noise. There's explanations for everything that they're doing, and I thought it made the film smarter, and it helped me connect to, because I wasn't sitting there nitpicking, you know, like, oh, look, they're doing this and they're making that sound. There's an explanation for everything. There's even an explanation for what level of sound you can make and why and when, brilliantly. I also thought the cast did a fantastic job. Now, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, as most of you may know, are married in real life, and that chemistry shows here. It shows so well. And you'd be like, okay, they're a married couple, of course they have chemistry, but I've seen some married couples on screen that you would never guess is a married couple. Like, for instance, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in Eyes Wide Shut comes to mind to me. That just felt awkward, you know, nothing against the movie itself. They felt awkward. They didn't feel like hot and trot and in love married couple. I felt that here, and it added to the weight of their characters. And the 2 young actors as well here, they come across believable in their roles. The girl, for instance, is deaf in this role, and there's a reason for that, because you know, when you look at this movie, overall this movie is almost a metaphor for what it's like to be deaf in a world with sound, and how terrifying that could be. The young guy in this, Noah Jupe, I think is his name, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, it might be Jupe. He's not this really brave kid or this fighter. He's not Carl, so to speak. He is afraid, and his dad is trying to teach him, and these are parents who are terrified that they cannot protect their kids. This is a father who's terrified that he cannot protect his family. This movie touches on so many aspects of what it means to have a child with a disability, and what it must mean to a parent to have to set that child loose in the world and not and hope you give them the tools they need to protect themselves in a cruel world. But putting aside the deeper aspects of this movie is a fun, scary film. If you don't want to go dig in beneath the layers of the metaphors and all of that, you can enjoy this movie because it's kind of like Jaws. The monster in this is really well designed. It's well thought out in the way this thing looks and moves and why it's so hard to kill. And yeah, there's a real shark-like feel to it. I think I read somewhere Krasinski does say that Jaws was a movie that he thought of when making this film, and it shows. You know, there's a scene with Emily Blunt's character in the basement, and the basement is flooding. I won't go any further than that. It is just so well done. The scary stuff is scary, the heartfelt stuff is heartfelt, and you are right there with these people, wanting them to survive, wanting them to find a way out. I honestly came out of this not feeling like this movie was a near perfect film. If anything, I think this movie might have benefited from them maybe giving us other families, or maybe one more family's point of view on how they were surviving. But I guess that's not the point. The point is about this family and how they're dealing with the horror that they are forced to live in. So for me, A Quiet Place is a strong, I would say, 9 out of 10. I'm leaving a point off because I need to see it again. But I can't find anything I did not like about this film. This film is an excellent film. And if you're a fan of the genre, if you love horrors, if you love thrillers, John Krasinski did an amazing job with this movie. I highly recommend you check it out. A Quiet Place gets a 9 out of 10. And that's going to be it for me, guys. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you can click on my face somewhere over there. And I'm also on Stardust, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.